In this video, you're going to learn 3 techniques for making exciting custom titles in iMovie. The techniques that I'm going to show you are the ones that I use, and they require no additional downloads or plugins. They use only the software and the capabilities that are built into your Mac or even your iPad. However, we are going to be using more than just iMovie. We're also going to be using Keynote and QuickTime, which come included in any Mac, or if you're on an iPad, we're just going to use the screen record functionality. So over here are a few examples of the titles that I've done in the past. However, for this video, I'm going to share with you kind of a silly one that I made up, but it is going to be great for showcasing all of the techniques I want to share with you. What's going to happen is a herald is going to pop in from the side, and then a banner is going to unravel, revealing your title, and then while the herald dissolves away, the title is going to jump down to the bottom of the screen on top of a blue border. Now this animation can be broken down into 3 steps. Each of those steps I'm going to give a distinct name. We're going to call the part when the herald walks in over green screen, when the banner unravels under green screen, and then finally when the text jumps down to the bottom of the screen, we're going to call that no green screen. So now things are going to get really meta because I'm making this animation for this video, and right now I'm just in a room in front of a green screen and no effects have been done at all. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the video that I'm shooting right now. I'm going to stop this camera and upload this onto my computer, and from there I'll screen share with you and show you everything from there on out. Let's go. So like I said, these effects are going to involve a lot of green screen. So before I go into the effects, I want to show you how the green screen works in iMovie. And I'm going to do that using this green screen so you can kind of see what we're working with and also what some of the obstacles are. So let me just show you how I'm putting this whole video together. As you can see, what I have here is my iMovie project that I just shot. And I'm in front of a green screen. So what I need to do is use a white background to create what you've just seen. So what I'm going to do is go into backgrounds and select white. I've got to make that long enough for what I just shot. And then if you aren't already familiar with this, the green screen effect allows you to put video that's on top of other video, or even on top of an image, in this case a white image, and hide all of the green background. So to use green screen, we go up to video overlay settings, and instead of cutaway, we're going to use green/blue screen. That's going to make my green background appear white. And then what I can do is I can drag off the edges so that we don't see the sides of the green screen. And then finally, I'm going to use the eraser to hide the shadow. So now what I'm going to do is clip off the white part that I'm not using. One of the limitations with iMovie is you only have 2 layers of video. This white is the first layer, and this video of myself is the second layer. And in order to put this video together, I'm going to have a 3rd layer for my titles. So in order to get that 3rd layer, what I'm actually going to end up doing is exporting this video so it becomes all one clip, and then re-importing it so it fills only 1 layer. You'll see that in just a minute. But for now, we're going to start designing that title. So the first effect that I want to show you is over green screen. And to do this, we're going to do something very similar to what I just did with the video of myself. I'm going to make an effect in Keynote on top of a green background. So what you'll have to do is open up Keynote. And what I like to do is have slides that all have a green background. So often to start, I will go to the master slide, edit master slide, and then I'll take the photo slide, delete the photo, and put in a rectangle, which is going to fill the entire slide and be green. Now to make sure that it's a pure green, I'm going to use the RGB sliders, and we'll take off all red and all blue, fill it green all the way. So that's going to be the new slide. Now I'll create a slide with the herald that I showed you earlier. Now, one of the things that I'm always very careful about is using graphics that I have the rights to use and using fonts that I have the rights to use. For all of my fonts, I go to 1001freefonts.com, and then you'll see on the right here, it'll say free for personal use and then totally free or public domain. So I'm always using like the public domain or the totally free fonts for all of my titles. And then for images, often I actually like a lot of the images that are included inside of the shape menu inside of Keynote. But for the herald, I'm going to do a custom image. This is pretty simple. So I'll use this pen icon, and I'm just going to start with a triangle, and then I'll use the curve here, and we'll do a gold color. There we go. And then what I need to do is I need to add the banner that hangs from the herald. Actually, in order to hang a banner, I'm going to have to make it a little bit longer. Okay, there we go. So for the banner, I'm going to use that pen icon again. That's good. Okay, so when the herald first enters the frame, the banner is hidden. So for this effect, I'm actually just going to start with part of the banner. So to show that the banner is rolled up, I'm going to use another rectangle, and we'll give it a little bit of shading also. Now, I'd like to hide the rest of the banner. So for now, what I'm going to do is instead of erasing the banner, I'm going to cover it with a green screen. And this is going to make more sense when I show you the next technique. But we're going to match the background precisely. And we're going to cover any part of the banner underneath the roll there. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to bring in this herald. So I'm going to take all of that and group it into one thing, one object. And then we're going to put it right on the edge of the slide. Now what I want to do is show the animation. So I'm going to go over here to animate, and we'll do build in, and it's going to come in from the side there. So I'm going to use move in, the bounce or no bounce. Yeah, I kind of like the bounce. Okay, so that's that. And now finally, I'm going to capture this to import into my movie. So what I'll do is I'm going to play this like it's a presentation, and I use the shortcut for taking a screenshot or a screen recording. It's Command-Shift-5, and that'll give these options down here. If you are on an iPad, you can do this by going into settings and enabling screen recording, and then you can use screen recording from your options at the lock screen. Or what do they call it? Not lock screen, but control, Apple and their names, this screen. Anyway, I'm going to put this around aspect ratio for the presentation, and then for the recording, I'm already recording this screen, but if you weren't already recording, you could go into here to set your options. But if you're not already recording your screen, you'll have video recording options that are right here. So I'm going to close this because I'm already recording, and then we're going to start the presentation. So I'm going to use my arrows. That's going to bring the herald. And then you're going to press stop. And when you do, your video is going to be saved to wherever you selected when the video screen recording options popped up. And that's it. That's it for part one. Well, that's it for the animation. So the second technique I want to show you is under green screen. It's necessary when you want an effect that can't be done using animations. Let me show you what I mean. The first thing I'm going to do is separate the animation that I was working on so that I put it into a separate slide. I can do this by just right clicking and saying duplicate. Now, since I've duplicated, this is going to have all the animations from the slide that I just created. I don't need those. In this slide, I don't need those. So I can go into build order and delete the move in for the herald, the trumpet. I keep calling it a herald, but really I guess it's a trumpet. The herald is the guy who holds the trumpet, but whatever. Okay, now I'm going to ungroup these. And then earlier, I grouped the green rectangle and the red rectangle together, so they're both the same object. But if I put some text underneath that, what's going to happen is at the tail of the banner, that's not going to make sense because this needs to be green as it unravels. It doesn't make sense that there's material there. So I need to somehow hide that material. So what I'm going to do is set this aside for just a second. I'm going to make another shape, and I'll make this shape black just so that you can clearly see it. Then I'll make it green afterwards. I'm going to match the end of the banner. Okay, so now what happens is when I pull down, that black blocks it. And so now it looks like the banner's unrolling at each tip. Oh, but you know what? The ends need to disappear also. Okay, so here's where it is. It's going to come down and disappear as it gets to the bottom. And I guess since we're doing an old English trumpet sort of thing, we'll say ye old custom titles. All right, so what's going to happen is I want that to be revealed as the banner unravels. To do that, I need to cover it with the green screen. So if I slide it up right now, you'll see that it's not covered. I'm going to bring this up and I'm going to bring up this black piece. So shift click to get both of them and then bring to front. So it's now ahead of the banner, and you'll see that as this moves down, it looks like the banner's unraveling. However, I'm still dealing with this black. So now that you can see the effect, we're going to turn this black into green. And then finally, let's make sure that the position, I've been moving it around a lot, so let's make sure that the position is the same from the previous. 91, 440, should be exactly the same now. When I jump between the two slides, from here to here, it looks like it's in the exact same position. I'm now going to separate this into two parts because I'm going to get really specific here. See, I actually want, as it unravels, you know how something will get thinner and thinner as it unravels. So I want that bar to get thinner as it unravels. And check out how I'm going to do this. I'm going to ungroup the two rectangles. And then I'm going to use an animation. It's going to be an action. And we'll use move. We're going to move that rectangle down. So if I did that move all by itself, it would just look like that. Now I've got to move the other piece to go with it. So I'm going to add a move to this one. So when this one moves, it needs to move down to 931 also. And that means if these animations happen at the exact same time, they'll line up. So to get them to happen at the same time, I'll say build the drop of the red rectangle to go along with the drop of the green rectangle. I can preview that. Oh, that was exactly what I wanted. You could see it was very slow. In fact, I'll slow the duration to 5 seconds. See how it gets thinner and thinner, just like it's unraveling. It actually looks perfect. Okay, put the animation back 1 second. So now it's time to record this piece. So I'm going to hit play, and I'm going to repeat the same process I did before. Bring up my little controls down here. Um, Again, I'm already recording. All I have to do is hit the arrow key to make it unravel. And that's it for the second part. The last technique is the most exceptional technique. You only need it when your titles involve both blue and green. See, if you need green, then you can use a blue background, and iMovie will detect that you're using a blue background and it'll hide that. Or if you're using blue, you can use a green background and likewise it'll hide the green. But if you're using green and blue, then iMovie has no way to filter out a background. So for example, if you look at the movie that I'm making right now, when my text is going to jump down to the bottom of the screen right here, see the border that you can see is all blue, no green. The green has been hidden. So the only way that you can get that title into iMovie without using any other program is to basically put the clip itself into iMovie. So what I'm going to do is remove this clip with the green screen. I'm going to copy the clip that I want the title to be over, and I'm going to paste it into another project. Now, I already did this ahead of time, so I would put the clip in there, export the clip as a file, and then from my keynote, I would take the exported clip, last step, and send that to the back. Then what I would do, make sure that the clip starts at the beginning, and then I would cue everything else to happen with that clip. Everything else in this portion is the same that we've seen before. So what's going to happen is we're going to have the trumpet and the banner dissolve, and then the words are going to dissolve as well, because what I've done in order to make it fit on the blue banner across the bottom is I've put the individual words. So ye, and you can see like the ghost down here. This is where the word ye is going to end up. Old, custom, titles. So they're all going to zoom down in the bottom and form a row. And I've timed it to match the video. So we can take a look at that. And then while the herald dissolves away, the title is going to jump down to the bottom of the screen on top of a blue border. Now this is the part of the video where I'm going to put it all together. The only thing that I've already done is, like I said earlier, I exported my 2-layer video, me in front of a green screen and then the white background, and I re-imported it as one single clip so that that clip is on the first layer, and now I can put all of my titles on top of it in the new second layer. Okay, so here is the screen recording. I've been saving them to the desktop. I did mine all at once. So I'm going to drag in the entire frame here and find out where the beginning is. All of the techniques I want to share with you. What's going to happen? Okay, what's going to happen is, so first we'll put in the green screen so that I can see. What's going to happen is a herald is going to pop in from the side. Okay. And now I want to watch. It's going to take a second for the video. There it is. Okay. With you. What's going to happen is a herald is going to pop in from the side, and then a banner is going to unravel, revealing your title. Okay, so right there, the banner didn't unravel when it was supposed to. So I'm going to just clip the effect, and side, and then a big banner's going to unravel right there. So we'll just delete that piece of it and connect those. Side, and then a banner is going to unravel, revealing your title, and then while the herald dissolves away, the title is going to jump down to the bottom of the screen. Okay, and now for the last part, I think my computer is like kind of freaking out because I'm recording and playing 2 layers at the same time, so we're getting some choppiness, but I need to find exactly where this clip begins. So right here. And then I need to make sure that is directly on top of, oops, I shouldn't have done that, directly on top of the place where I took it from. So I took it from right here. So that means it should play seamlessly. Revealing your title, and then while the herald dissolves away. It's not very seamless as I'm recording this, but once I'm not recording video at the same time, that should line up. Wow, that's going to be pretty cool. So then I'll go through and I'll add some sound effects. That's it. We've got 3 segments here. We've got over a green screen, which is how I did the trumpet. And then I used a green screen on top of the banner to do the reveal, so under a green screen. And then finally, without a green screen, I just imported the video into Keynote, recorded that, and that allows me to use blue when I need to. Ooh, you know what? See that? I need to make sure that I take it off green screen there. So put it back into cutaway. Boom. And then that's going to look make the titles in blue and green. All right, there you go. So those are the 3 techniques that I have for you today. Over green screen, under green screen, and no green screen. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I do respond to comments, and so when I have time, I will definitely respond to you. This channel is not entirely about iMovie. I actually make videos on innovation. Sometimes I make videos about finance, which is kind of what I've been doing lately for the beginning of the new year. But don't forget, the way that you send signals to all YouTube creators is by giving a thumbs up and a comment below. When you do that, it tells the creator that this is the content their viewers are looking for. So don't forget to send that signal if this is what you would like to see more of. And with that, hopefully, I will see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.